I was cleaning out the attic when I found the box. Old photos, dried-up pens, faded receipts. I nearly tossed the whole thing in the trash, until I saw the envelope. It was yellowed, sealed, and had my name on it. But it wasn't my handwriting. It was hers. My wife. We've been married for 9 years. No kids, by choice. We both worked demanding jobs in tech, traveled a lot, made good money, and had what I thought was an unbreakable bond. We had game nights. Inside jokes. The kind of synchronized routines that feel like second nature. So why did her hands shake when I asked her if she ever regretted marrying me? That was 2 weeks ago. She laughed it off, changed the subject. But something in her eyes didn't. I kept the letter in my pocket for hours. Maybe I already knew what it was. Maybe I didn't want to know. But that night, when she fell asleep, I opened it. To my husband, if you ever find this, I'm sorry. But there's no way I can keep pretending anymore. My blood went cold. It started before the honeymoon. I didn't mean for it to happen. You were asleep. He was just there. I told myself it was just once. But I kept seeing him. Again. And again. And again. I couldn't breathe. You never suspected a thing. God, you're so good. Too good. I don't deserve you. I stopped reading. That was last night. And she's downstairs right now, making coffee like everything's fine. They say you never forget your wedding night. I won't. But not for the reasons I used to think. I remember how beautiful she looked, dancing barefoot in our suite with a glass of champagne in one hand and her heels in the other. We laughed. We slow danced to a playlist we made together. She kissed me like she meant it. And then, she said she needed to freshen up. Said she forgot her makeup bag in her maid of honor's room. Told me to go to sleep, she'd be back soon. She didn't come back for hours. At the time, I thought she was just caught up talking to friends. Everyone was drinking, buzzing from the excitement. But now, rereading her letter again, it all made sense. You were asleep. He was just there. I don't even know why I did it. I hated myself right after. But I didn't stop. She was with him that night. The man I shook hands with earlier in the reception. He made some offhand joke about marriage being a bold move. I laughed. I thought he was just being cynical. Turns out, he was just waiting his turn. I haven't confronted her yet. I can't. She's in the kitchen right now, humming, making pancakes. And I'm here, dying inside, knowing that the woman I married betrayed me before our honeymoon even started. I couldn't get his face out of my head. In the wedding photos, he's always near her. Not next to me. Not with the other guests. Her. Always her. His name was Dylan, I remembered because she introduced him to me during the rehearsal dinner. He's just a friend from work, she said. We go way back. He's harmless. Harmless. He was the first. The letter said it was a moment of weakness. Said she felt numb from all the stress, all the family drama around the wedding. She told herself she was letting go of the pressure for one night. She cried after. Swore she'd never do it again. But she saw him 2 more times. Once during our honeymoon, when I thought she was sick and stayed back in the hotel while I went snorkeling alone. The second time was when I flew to Denver for a business trip. She said she missed me. Said she was lonely. And Dylan just showed up with wine. It wasn't love, she wrote. It was a way to escape. I never wanted you to find out. She ended the letter there. But I knew there was more. I felt it. I pulled out our old wedding album. Looked at every picture. There he was, smirking at the bar. Hand on her back. Another one with her fixing his tie. Then one that nearly made me vomit. Them dancing alone. And me, nowhere in sight. After I found the letter, I started looking back at everything. Every detail. Every excuse. Every lie I'd ignored. But the phone bill was where it became real. We shared a plan, and I rarely checked the breakdown. Why would I? I trusted her. But now I dug through 6 months of call logs. And there it was, a number I didn't recognize, showing up over and over. Late at night. Lunchtime. Even while I was traveling. Sometimes, 3 times a day. I called the number from a burner app. It went straight to voicemail. You've reached K. You know what to do. Not Dylan. A different voice. A different man. I checked our shared calendar, the times she said she was at Pilates, or grabbing wine with Julie, or staying late at the office. Those time slots matched the calls. Matched the messages. My stomach dropped. I went into her gym bag the next morning while she was in the shower. Nestled beneath a pair of leggings and her water bottle was a second phone, black, no case, screen cracked slightly. Unlocked. No password. Like she wanted me to find it. It had 4 contacts. No names. Just initials. DKMC. The last text message, from Ken, read. You wore me out last night. Same time Friday. I stared at it until the letters blurred. My wife wasn't just cheating. She was living a second life. I couldn't stop shaking when I held that phone. She hadn't just used it for messaging. There were voice memos. 22 of them. Each one a small confession, a raw clip of her real self, the version she hid from me every single day. They were dated and titled by initials. I put in headphones. Pressed play. D, he still smells like the beach. I think I'll always like that about him. K, I feel guilty. Not because of him, but because I liked it more than I should have. M, God, he makes me feel so alive. Like I'm 20 again. I skipped to the last one. It was just silence at first. Then a sigh. I can't keep pretending. I love my husband. I do. But it's like, he sees this version of me that isn't even real. And they see the messy, broken, horny, selfish part. And they want her. Not the perfect wife. She paused. Then whispered. Maybe I'm not meant to be anyone's forever. I turned it off and sat there for 20 minutes, not moving. My wife had been keeping an audio diary of her infidelity. She recorded memories with them. Thoughts after sex. Confessions she never planned to say to my face. She didn't love just one of them. She loved the freedom they gave her to stop pretending to love me. I didn't sleep that night. She came to bed, curled up next to me like always, kissed my cheek. And I lay there, listening to her breathe, knowing she had no idea I'd heard everything. The next day, I searched again, this time in her work tote. There was a small pocket she always kept zipped. I'd never touched it before. Felt like a violation. But what was sacred now? I opened it. There it was, a Hilton hotel room keycard, with a date written on a sticky note, April 18th, 4 p.m. I remembered that date. She told me she was speaking at a women's leadership panel. Even posted about it on LinkedIn. She even sent me a picture of her, on stage, in front of a screen with her name on it. I reverse image searched the photo. She didn't just fake the event, she stole the image from an old conference's media gallery. Edited her name onto the projection. That night, I called the Hilton. Gave the room number and a plausible story about a lost laptop. Sorry sir, we can't give guest details. But yes, someone checked in under that room number on April 18th for 2 adults. 2 adults. Not just her. Not a conference. Not a panel. Just my wife and another man. In the bed she didn't want to share with me that night. I became obsessed with the initials. D, K, M, C. I had already confirmed D was Dylan, the wedding night mistake turned repeat offender. But K kept coming up in the burner phone logs, and I had no clue who he was. Until I found the photo. Buried in her iCloud, she must have forgotten to delete it, was a selfie she took in a hotel mirror. She looked radiant, slightly flushed, wearing nothing but a silk robe. Behind her, reflected in the mirror, was a man sitting on the bed. Face partially turned, shirtless, tattoo visible. I zoomed in. It wasn't someone anonymous. I knew him. Kevin Saunders. We met him at her company's Christmas party 2 years ago. He was her team's product designer. Friendly guy. We had beers together. He even asked me for marriage advice. And all along, he was sleeping with my wife. I set up a fake LinkedIn profile. Pretended to be a recruiter. Reached out to him about a job opportunity. Scheduled a Zoom call. He answered, cheerful, in his apartment. I kept it vague. Tech, marketing, culture fit. I complimented his team at her company. Mentioned my wife knew someone who worked with him, maybe even him. He froze. Blinked. Wait, what's her name? I told him. He didn't speak for 5 full seconds. Then he said, "Can I ask, why are you calling me again?" I didn't answer. Just watched him go pale, then hang up. I stared at the screen for a long time. He knew. But the guilt on his face. He didn't know she was married. Or at least not at first. Another one down. 3 to go. She was so convincing. I need to work on my trust issues, she told me one night, curling into my chest. I want to be better for us. So I'm starting therapy. God, I loved her for that. I felt proud. Like we were growing together. She even told me about her therapist, Rachel. She said she was amazing. That Rachel was helping her unpack emotional walls, things from childhood, old fears, abandonment stuff. She started going twice a week. She started smiling more. She started having homework assignments from Rachel. Exercises. Reflections. She even showed me a couple scribbled worksheets. One said, "Write down 3 moments this week when you felt seen." I believed all of it. Until last Friday. She texted me while I was out. Leaving Rachel's now. Emotionally drained, but good. Can't wait to talk tonight, red heart. I was near her supposed therapist's office, so I drove by. Just to feel closer to her. The suite listed 5 names on the door. None of them were Rachel. No Rachel M. No therapist with her last name. No one with her field. I walked in and asked the receptionist. "Sorry," she said. "No Rachel here. And we haven't had any new therapists join us in the last 2 years." I sat in my car and stared at nothing. She made up an entire therapist. An entire healing process. And what was she doing instead? That night, I checked the burner phone. 3 missed calls. From M. And a photo. Her. Wine glass. Candlelit dinner. Not at home. Looking back, I keep asking myself the same thing. How the hell didn't I know? How could someone live a double life right next to me and I never saw it? But the truth is, I did. I just didn't want to admit it. There were signs. Always signs. The lingerie that suddenly went missing after a girls' weekend. The new perfume she never wore around me. The shower running when she got home from the gym, but she never looked like she'd worked out. The sudden obsession with privacy, locking her phone, guarding her laptop, always turning it face down. And the sex. We used to be electric. Then it became mechanical. Then rare. Then non-existent. And every time I brought it up, she blamed work stress. Hormones. Me. Why are you always pressuring me? You never just want to talk. I feel like you only care about one thing. So I backed off. Tried to be understanding. Supportive. I read articles. Asked if she wanted therapy. Hell, I blamed myself. All while she was giving her body and heart to other men. I didn't want to lose her. I didn't want to see her as capable of this. So I chose denial. But now the truth was everywhere. In her phone. Her fake appointments. Her lies wrapped in intimacy. And in her own words. She left a second envelope behind the first letter. Smaller. Unopened. I almost didn't notice it. It was labeled. If you ever find out everything. I sat in the garage. Alone. Letter in hand. I couldn't take it into the house. Into our house. I opened it with trembling hands. And inside, it was worse than I imagined. If you're reading this, then I've failed completely. I don't know who told you. Or what you found. But I know it's bad. There were 6. Maybe more if you count the one-nighters. But 6 that matter. Dylan, you know about him. I've written about him. It started it all. Kevin, you met him at the holiday party. I told you he was gay. He's not. And, Mark, the one I saw during therapy. That one I caught feelings for. I think if you and I had never met, I would have ended up with him. C was complicated. He was older. Married. That was the one I'm most ashamed of. And then KNR, co-workers from different offices. Short flings. But real. Physical. Exciting. I never planned for this. It just snowballed. Every time I tried to stop, I felt like I was already ruined, so what was the point? I don't even know who I am anymore. I wanted to tell you. I almost did, 100 times. But I couldn't bear the look on your face. You looked at me like I was something good. Something beautiful. I didn't want to lose that. But I guess I already did. I sat in that garage for 2 hours. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just died a little inside. 6 men. Years of lies. And a wife who still cooked me dinner, still called me baby, still kissed my forehead before bed. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I know what I can't do. Go on like everything is fine. The anger came in waves. At first, it was numbness. That quiet, suffocating silence that wraps around your chest and tells you, this isn't real. But then it hit. Like fire in my veins. I wanted to ruin her. Not just leave. Not just cry. I wanted her to feel everything I was feeling. Publicly. Brutally. I started writing a post for Facebook. Not vague. Detailed. Names. Dates. Screenshots. A photo of the hotel key. A picture of the burner phone next to our wedding bands. I planned to tag her. Tag her job. Tag her friends. The caption. Meet the woman who told me I was her forever, while she was screwing 6 other men behind my back. It sat in my drafts for 45 minutes. I didn't post it. Because some quiet part of me said, if you do this, there's no coming back. Not for either of you. So instead, I turned to Reddit. An anonymous post. Just to scream into the void. Maybe find someone who'd been through it. Maybe not. I wrote everything. In raw, excruciating detail. Spilled my soul into that post. I hovered over post, paused, and closed the app. Because as much as I wanted to burn her world to the ground, I still loved her. Or maybe I just loved who I thought she was. That night, I looked at her sleeping next to me. Peaceful. Dreaming. Maybe dreaming of him. And I realized something else. She doesn't get to decide how this ends. I do. Her little sister, Amy, always looked at me funny. Not mean. Not suspicious. Just uncomfortable. Like she knew something she wasn't supposed to say. We hadn't talked in months, maybe a year. But I called her the next morning. My voice cracked the second she answered. Amy, I need you to tell me the truth. Did you know? There was a long pause. Then, I begged her to stop. I begged her. She burst into tears. She told me everything. Amy had found out over a year ago. She saw a message pop up on her sister's phone during a weekend visit, one she wasn't supposed to see. A photo. A message that said, "Last night was magic. When can I taste you again?" Amy confronted her. Screamed. Cried. Threatened to tell me. And my wife, my loving, perfect, gentle wife, manipulated her into silence. It's over, I promise. I love him. Don't ruin this for me. It was a phase. I'm getting help. Amy believed her. At least, she wanted to. She didn't want to blow up our lives. I didn't know there were so many, she whispered. I didn't know she was still doing it. Neither did I, Amy apologized. Over and over. Said she felt like an accomplice. I told her it wasn't her fault. We were both victims of the same lie, just from different angles. And the woman we trusted wasn't the woman we thought we knew. I hired a lawyer the next day. Didn't tell her. Didn't even hint. I just smiled. Kissed her cheek. Let her think nothing had changed. While behind the scenes, I started taking my life back, piece by piece. We'd been together almost a decade. Finances were tangled. She was on my insurance, I was the primary on the mortgage, she managed most of our shared accounts. That stopped immediately. I opened new bank accounts. Froze our joint credit card. Moved half of our savings into a secure account under just my name, legal, by the way, since my paychecks made up 80% of that fund. Then I hired a private investigator. I needed to know, was she still seeing them? Even after I found the letter. After the second letter. After the breakdown. The PI found her at a hotel. Not with Dylan. Not with Mark. With a new man. Younger. Mid-20s. Fitness trainer. Apparently, she met him on Instagram. She told me she was going to an all-day women's networking event. She was going to bed with stranger number 7. And I felt nothing. No tears. No rage. Just cold clarity. I walked into the attorney's office the next day and signed the divorce petition. Irreconcilable differences doesn't even come close. Then I asked them to prepare the next step. Full asset protection. She wasn't just going to lose me. She was going to lose the life she built on my loyalty. For the next 2 weeks, I played my part. The doting husband. The forgiving soul. The man who was trying to move on. I told her I'd been quiet because I needed time. Space. She cried. Said she was ashamed. Said she was ready to be honest. She wanted therapy, real therapy this time. Offered to go to counseling together. She even started leaving her phone face up. No passcode. The burner phone was gone. Probably destroyed. But I didn't care. I'd already seen everything. I let her think she was healing me. I let her believe she still had my heart. And every night, I slept beside her knowing that the exit was coming, and she wouldn't see it. I scheduled the final meeting with the lawyer. Set the divorce to be delivered via process server at her work, during a weekly team meeting she never missed. Savage? Maybe. But this woman didn't deserve a gentle ending. She used my love as a cover for her secret life. She had 6, now 7, men behind my back. Lied with a straight face. Faked therapy. Faked recovery. So I let her live in the illusion for 2 final weeks. Cooked dinner. Kissed her forehead. Said, "I love you too." And all the while, I was preparing to disappear from her life entirely. I woke up before sunrise. She was still asleep, curled on her side, arms stretched across my chest like it belonged there. I stared at her for a while. Not with love. With a quiet recognition. This was the last time I'd ever see her. I got up, got dressed, packed the last of my things. The movers would be by in 2 hours for the rest. I'd already arranged a short-term apartment. New number. New email. New life. Before I left, I walked back into the bedroom. She stirred a little but didn't wake. I placed a small white envelope on her nightstand. The same kind of envelope she had left for me. Only this time, it had my handwriting. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. I know everything. Dylan. Kevin. Mark. Chris. All of them. Even the new one. 7 total, right? You lied to me every day for years. While I loved you. While I believed in you. I let you think I forgave you. I let you feel safe. But I was already gone. There's no dramatic ending. No screaming match. No second chance. Just consequences. The divorce is filed. My accounts are mine again. The house will be sold. I've already informed your HR team. By now, you've probably been served the papers, in front of your coworkers. Fitting, don't you think? You wanted freedom. Now you have it. No lies. No loyalty. Just silence. Goodbye. I left the ring on top of the letter. Walked out the door. And didn't look back. That night, I finally posted the story on Reddit. Anonymous, but unfiltered. Raw. Every detail. Every lie. Every scar she left on my trust. I didn't need revenge. Telling the truth was enough. The post went viral. Thousands of comments. Messages from strangers saying they'd been through the same. Some called me brave. Some just said, "Thank you for putting into words what I couldn't." It helped. Not completely. But it helped. I'm not okay yet. But I'm free. And that's a start.